What up, family? Welcome back to I Said It, the podcast for all things sports. And today, we back. We got to talk about the new agreement that came down, and the players are going to be getting paid in college football, basketball. All the athletes is going to be getting paid now. We're going to talk about what that means for college sports. We're going to talk about the NBA playoffs, obviously. Who's better? Who would you take? Luka or Jason Tatum? It's going to be interesting. And if the Dallas Mavericks wins this championship, is Luka the greatest Mavs basketball player ever?
He said it.
Next on I Said It Sports. Subscribe, y'all. Please subscribe. Comment down below. Let's get it. What up, family? Welcome back to I Said It. The podcast for all things sports. I'm your co-host, Chris. I got Blair and Darius with me today. What's up, y'all?
What's going on?
Blair was ready to get it going, man. He was speaking to y'all early. He ready to jump in this bitch. You know what I'm saying? So we got to start off with the college football. I think that's the biggest news that I've heard since we've been gone. You know, they are now going to be paid in a settlement of some lawsuits that they had against them. The NCAA made a $2.7 billion with a B dollar settlement. It's going to be back pay for about 10 years. So I think that's back pay until like what that be 2016, I think they said. But I think if 10 years, that serves me correctly, that's like 2014. But that's neither here nor there. But in the article that I've all the articles I've read, they said 10 years. So they're going to do back pay up to 2.
Is that back to the case?
To the cases. So all the cases are going to be settled. They said anybody that was before 2000 and in the suits that they settled, they said anybody from 2016 on and the current athletes, they're going to get up a total of to the tune of $2.7 billion in damages. So, and it comes with like revenue sharing from here on out. So the athletes, so that means the conferences and the schools are going to have revenue sharing with the athletes. That means basketball, football, soccer, tennis, whatever ones that you be seeing on TV, volleyball, all of those guys are going to be paid, and they can have the ability to be paid directly from the school. So basically they're employees now. So $2.7 billion is a lot of money.
Depends on how many people you spread that out over, man. It's thousands of dudes. It's thousands of athletes in the system over the years.
Yeah, and I think the government is going to play a part in this new structure they have going on too. Not all the details have been released, but this was like huge news. So the conferences and the fact that they're going to be able to have the revenue sharing, and that's from the universities and the conferences, are going to be allowed to directly pay players through revenue sharing. So what do y'all think this is going to do for college football and basketball as we know it right now? Like, it's been a lot of changes in college sports just in the past 5 years. Like, first they could get paid. Now they can get paid, and they got all these what you want to call them, like organizations and fundraisers to be able to help get the players paid. And now,
like the boosters,
like your boosters.
They had boosters for years, bro. Before they was able to pay dudes, they still had boosters.
Yes,
I don't think it goes away. I just think now, like You can make more bad decisions and money's involved instead of just dangling college in front of dudes. People gonna dangle money, and it's everybody's not gonna get paid because everybody can't get paid. Every college doesn't have the amount of money to pay everybody. Now they might pay them. They already give them somewhere to stay. They might just give them a stipend or something like everybody's not getting thousands of dollars. Like they're getting $100,000 to play at this school. Like every school can't do that. So it might be they might pay you like 40,000, like you make 40,000 a year. Like in college, you don't have no bills. That's good money. Especially if you're still getting a free, like they still giving you a free education, or you still getting a free education from the scholarship. So now if they, my pop, which is funny, my pop's talking about, I don't know if this will happen. I don't think it should, but like if they try to make them pay for school, but I don't see that happening. My thing is like I don't know how you make them pay for school because you still need them. Like you still have to offer them something. So in the end, you would be offering them school anyway.
Yeah, because basically they use the athletics as a tool to raise money for the university in the first place, period. So how do you then turn around and tell them that you got to pay to come here to have the opportunity to make more money? I get all of that, but you still need me to be able to fund your science program possibly, or the new heart building that you want to build over here on campus, or the new hospital that you want to build over here on campus. And the money that I'm generating for the school helps fund those things and other activities.
Yeah, it's mainly the other sports because like a lot of like the medical programs and all that stuff, they have stuff in place everywhere they are. So a good piece of that athletic stuff is for salaries and building up the stuff, but it's mainly for salaries. You buy a bunch of stuff, you might build the program up, but like once you have max level stuff, where does that money go? It just goes into the skill, it goes into bonuses. It's a lot of it's in sports because a lot of the money is generated there, so they keep it there. That's why they pay the coaches so much, and the ADs get this money. But the
Yeah.
coaches get the most.
So the fact that I think the best thing about this is that you get to kind of take the boosters out of the picture as far as like, you know, the universities being able to pay the players and the conferences are being able to pay the players through revenue sharing. What that also means is that the the sports that generate the most revenue is the ones that's going to be getting paid more relatively. So
Well,
like your
you already know what
basketballs and your
sports those are.
footballs.
It's the
Say it
same
again.
sports at it. I said you already know what sport. Those are the same sports at every school.
Yeah, it's the
Like
same
those
sports
are
that.
the ones that generate the majority of the money.
Now you may have an outlier like, the volleyball team at UCLA or USC is going to be more because that they find that as that's their
It
thing. That's
still
their
ain't
big
like
thing.
more than the basketball program or the football
Oh,
program.
no, 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 no.
It
I'm
might be
just
more than
saying.
a golf program, yeah.
Yeah, I just think that it's going to be the amount of changes that are happening right now and how they're going about doing it. I feel like this is a much better way than what we initially was happening. Like how our original feelings on like the boosters and how these young men and young women are going to get taken advantage of, and we've had stories of people getting taken advantage of because they didn't know what they were doing,
Yeah,
and we
some
have
dudes already sued. Like there's been a bunch of lawsuits going on about the I don't know, man. So like I think part of the issue is it's gonna be like now giving it to the schools, it just goes back to what it was before. The schools with the most monies get the best players. Like that's how it was before. But before you sold facilities, now you can just sell how much money they can pay you, which is no different.
even all the way down to the video game. Did you see that they came out with their tiers? Their tiers of what they can. Oh, I wish I had the thing. So like the NCAA college football game came out with their tiers. So tier one, tier two, tier three, tier four, like as schools. Excuse me, I need some water. But their tiers of how much. What up? Their tiers of how much they're going to be able to pay, and what's considered a tier one school is a So they went back and they
You
looked
mean
at
like the Power Five and all that?
Power Five schools,
Oh
but
yeah,
not all Power Five schools are created equal. So if I'm Ohio State or Michigan, I'm in a tier one class as far as like the college football game. I'm gonna pay, let's say I pay you guys $2,000 each player, right? If you're in tier two, I'm not paying you 2,000 because more likely than not, these teams here, they're buying the game to play with these teams, right? So you got tier two, then you got tier three. So if I'm at Maryland, because I remember seeing Maryland in like tier three, nobody's really buying the game for somebody at Maryland because they're not one, they're not on national TV as much. Two, they are a Power Five school, but they went back and looked at how many playoff games you win, how many bowl games did you win, what's the what kind of ratings are you getting as far as like TV is concerned. Like that's how they broke it down, and that's how they started to pay those players. So it also is even more of an advantage for like teams like Ohio State or Michigan, uh, um, Alabama, Georgia. Like yeah, I know if I go here and I sign here, even if I'm a walk on, I'm gonna get a quick little check just by going here. One, and then two, not to count the revenue sharing that the schools are going to be able to offer. So I think it does kind of put it at a disadvantage for more of a disadvantage, or not really. I think it's pretty much the same, but for like schools like your Marshalls and like the smaller schools, I think it stays the same. It's just doing it in a different way.
yeah,
And
it's no different, bro. Like they
yeah,
still, the money just has to be spread out a little bit. Like the players get some of the money directly now. It's the only difference. It made it seem
now
like they couldn't get any of it before. Like, oh, it's just wrong to give them some money. Like, no, it's not.
I will say this, that now that all of these things are happening, they need representation. They need a players association for college football and basketball players. Like they need somebody to be able to help them
I mean, they
negotiate.
need a union.
Yeah, they need a union. They need something. They need some representation to be able to help them negotiate these, negotiate these contracts, because now that the universities and the conferences are able to pay these players, okay, how much are you going to be able to
So
give me in
what's gonna
revenue
happen?
sharing?
What's about to happen with that? I'm telling you, they about to put a flat number in there. You're not gonna be able to be like, get me for $5 million, like one dude making five. Like, nah, they about to flatten all of that out. Like it might get allocated like whatever sport. Like they might pay you how your sport is paid if you have a professional sport like football. So they might pay quarterbacks disproportionate to like a running back or something. But they're not gonna pay like that money them dudes was making. They're not paying them that. That ain't coming from the school. Now, again, you can still make that money because you can sign a deal outside of the school and and still, sell yourself or use your own likeness for certain things. But like the
Mm-hmm.
school about to nah. Like they should have. I'm telling you, the fact that they even open it up like that, the immediately you about to see a system come out. And the schools is like, yeah, this is about to be the pay. Everybody's gonna agree on it because the ones that can pay more can, but why? If they all flatten it out, it won't matter which school you go to. It'll just be a if you this recruit, we'll pay you this. If you this supposed to be this position, we'll give you this to come here. Like, but it won't. I don't think it'll be like everybody has a random deal and everybody's getting paid something different. That is not how they're about to do it. Now, maybe they'll need a union to keep them from locking them into some terrible numbers.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, like now it just is like how much are they off? They still need you. Like they want to win. The idea is like they're not paying you so they lose as a team. Like they still want to win, so they're trying to get the best players they can. But it being like this open cap on how much money the school's gonna pay, I don't see that.
Yeah. So if you didn't know, that's all the Power Five schools. That's the ACC, Big Ten, Big 12, SEC, Pac-12. I mean, they ain't not really a conference, but also in Notre Dame, they all said, "Yeah, we good with this." My thing is, so they're trying to restrict anybody from 2015 back. saying that you can't join the lawsuit. And what I'm trying to understand is how you gonna tell me that I can't join the lawsuit? I play college basketball. You know what I'm saying?
Because nobody, so like, the reason they're
That's what I'm
probably
saying.
trying
But
to cap it is because that's when the original like name, image, likeness lawsuit happened, was like 2014-ish, I think, somewhere around there. So I think that's why they're capping it around when the O'Bannon, because that's been a complaint, but it's like, at how long can you go back? How much money do you
mm-hmm,
actually expect them to give up? NCAA ain't closing, and they not giving
mm-hmm,
you all their money either. So they're like, yeah, we'll do this, and we don't care about y'all before this date. Y'all just don't make it. Like, because if that's the case, that's every athlete ever. You got to give back
mm-hmm,
all records that you took, all penal. Every school you penalized. Like, they can't take none of that stuff back. All that stuff
mm-hmm,
they did, even though now everybody's saying, yeah, that was stupid. Should have never done that. They're like, yep, nope. They're not getting, vacated championships. Even if they gave them back, the wins they give back, like you been banned from a bowl or banned from the postseason for 5 years, like they can't give any of that stuff back, man.
mm.
They also can't give you all their money. So like they just had to pick a date and everybody agreed, like, all right, fine. We'll go back to around about the time everybody started wholeheartedly complaining. Because people were complaining, but the internet is, social media is a thing now. It jumped off in 2010-ish where it really got crazy where you could say anything and the money built, bro. Like they needed social media, they needed the exposure. They've been Athletes have been complaining at colleges for years. Nobody cared. Nobody listened. It wasn't until they all got voices, and now all of a sudden it's like, hey man, something got to change.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it was.
Everybody got a mic, but they social media. Um, I don't know, Sean. How do you think it's gonna the new ruling of the in college, basically sports period, has changed? How you think that the new ruling is gonna affect college football, basketball, all the sports by them being able
Um,
to directly pay the players now?
this is new news to me. I just heard about it. I've been out of the sports world for a couple days now. But according to what y'all both said, I agree wholeheartedly with Blair been saying. Um, I would definitely have to start a union. I think a union is only fair for everybody. But I also think there's a way to also look out for your superstars. Because at the end of the day, if we're looking at it as a business, look at your top tier athletes. Like, so if I'm number one recruit coming out, especially for college basketball, they got to play a year or whatever till they go to the league. So if I'm the number one recruit and I'm getting what this walk on getting, is that really fair? Because at the end of the day, think about long term. This dude probably been playing since he was 4 years old. His mom and them probably put him on multiple AAU teams. If you're not familiar with AAU, them guys travel all over the country. It's a lot of money invested in that child for him to be number one. Plus, just his skill set. You know what I'm saying? He put in time and effort in his skill set. So I think it still should be some kind of barrier on the top guys. Like, you know what I'm saying? The top guys should still be able to get more money. Of course, yeah, like you said, those Power Five schools and the Pac-12 is still a Power Five school, Chris, because they have swimming, they have volleyball, they have other shit besides football and basketball that people don't see on TV. But they have water polo, all types of shit that makes them elite. Um, but again, everything that Blair said, I totally agree. I think it is a way for them to retrack and get back to the old ways without saying they're going back to the old ways and to control the money, man. They gotta put a control on it because eventually guys is gonna have 5, 6 years in fucking college because they know they rookie year money ain't gonna be what they could have made they 5th year senior, 6 year senior, or whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm. Super senior year. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, your super senior and all that crazy stuff. So even with those restrictions, since COVID is now kind of behind as far as in the sports world, I think they're gonna make some adjustments with that too, and the transfer portal, because a lot of colleges are really, especially like Nick Saban, you got some guys that's giving up, quitting, complaining, about the transfer portal more than guys getting paid. You know what I'm
So
saying?
yeah, because it's a job, bro. Because the dudes started immediately
Exactly.
treating it like a job, so they start hitting the transfer portal when the money ain't right. Now you're gonna get a bunch of dudes that fall by the wayside, like you getting regular college dudes that don't make it, that's on the team one year, not on the team the next, and they didn't graduate. Like
Right.
it'll all even itself out eventually. I hear you. I figured you would say something about that, but I'm like, bro, Buddy's on the team. I could understand like the difference between paying a scholarship athlete and a non-scholarship athlete, but just because that dude is like number one on the team doesn't mean that walk-on didn't go to basketball camp.
That's true. True
It doesn't
indeed.
mean
True
that dude
indeed.
didn't play AAU. Like it just means his skills may not be as good as that other, but it doesn't mean he didn't put the work in to play basketball seriously. Like
True indeed. I'm taking it from the vantage point, like when we look at the NBA draft, most of these guys are not graduating seniors. Most
no,
of these guys is young boys, and they got a chance to go to the G League and things of that nature
but
to
that's
get
why
money.
it's the rookie wage scale. That's why they
So
capped the
that's what I
money the
was.
way they
That's what
did
I was about to
anyway.
say on that. They can. That's why I said a union would be perfect, because say if you are with a team, you could be with the Kentucky or let's say a small Power 5 school like Vanderbilt or something, and you still balling or whatever the case may be, but you a 6 year senior. Should your pay increase each year? Because if you was working at a job for 6 years, say you at your job for 6 years, you think you're gonna make the same amount of money your first year than your 6 year?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm paying you to stay here extra years, bro. I'm paying you to go to school here so you can play football for us. Like I can pay you, but you getting a wage increase because you stayed an extra year. Like that only works for football because basketball is still leaving.
That
And
is
then you
true.
would
That's
just
why
get a bunch
I'm
of
agreeing.
soft hard dudes stuck in the NCAA. And what good is that for them? A bunch of dudes hanging around till they 24, 25 so they can get a check from a school.
I mean, because most of the guys, I'm just being honest here, most of the guys that's hanging around that long, they more than likely gonna be overseas or one of these United States basketball teams like the Charlotte Banshees, like from Joanna Man. You know what I'm saying? It might be something crazy like that we never even heard of. But again, these guys, like you said, they might have went to AAU and all this other stuff. It's still money. Most of these guys are athletes. They probably not the smartest guy in the classroom. So any kind of way they can try to stay in there to make some bread, I mean, all power to them. But again, for that guy that's just that one and done, you know what I'm saying? He gonna go to the league, get that rookie skill. But that guy that's sticking around for 6 years, even though what I'm saying is we are well, not we. They are walking sponsorships because they have that team logo, they have that team name on their back. They're that brand. So for
Yeah, but
six
there's a
years, 4
limit,
years,
bro. Like that whole COVID year they gave people, that's gone. Like they're gonna
yeah,
take
yeah,
it back.
it got to
Yeah,
be
that's
gone.
over.
So that's gone. So you're gonna be able to only max out at like 5 years if you get a red shirt year. Maybe you can get an injury year, maybe, but they ain't red shirting and injuring everybody.
Nah.
You
And,
got a
it's
4 year window. Get it while you can. Get out.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Most dudes ain't gonna make it to the NBA. Most dudes ain't gonna make it to the NFL. You
Most
know
of
what I'm saying?
them
I
don't
forgot what the
make it
numbers
to
are.
right.
Yeah, so you know what I'm saying? It is crazy, but I think it's a technique for them to control the money. But I also think that it is a chance for everybody to get paid. Um, it is bananas though, man. It is bananas. But because originally, even when we talking about the college, I was hearing you talk about the college football game. they was actually taking any and everybody, but it was like a limited number. Don't quote me, but it was like only 20 guys per team or something that could be on the game with their NIL. You know what I'm saying? And they was getting paid individually. It could be the guy that's walking on. It could be the star guy, whatever the case may be. And it was first come, first serve. So I don't know if they changed some limitations or they added more guys, take away more guys. But that was actually what it was. And I thought that was pretty cool because the guy that's on the bench, that's going to be that rated 47 guy, you know what I'm saying? You ain't even going to put him on the game. You know what I'm saying? He get a chance to say, hey, mom, that's me. Or play with himself. No homo. But, you know what I'm saying? Play with himself. You know, play as himself or whatever. So, you know, I think that was pretty cool, you know, to get any and everybody on the game. But if they changing it up, that's cool too, because growing up when I played the game, everybody was on there. And I do understand Ed O'Bannon and everything they went through. You know what I'm saying? So that was a good monumental step for college players in general. You know what I'm saying? So I really do appreciate it. Did it take away from me as a fan as far as playing the game? Yeah. I hate it. It sucked. We didn't have the college game for, 10 years now?
10 years.
Yeah, so
But
that true
that's
indeed.
nobody's fault but theirs for not paying.
Exactly. But greed is in every single business. Greed is in every single business. So I think, again, retracting, I really think a union will be perfect. That way they have tiers, like Chris was saying. They can have tiers on who getting paid what. But again, you still gonna have bitching and moaning and complaining because you do have a Randy Moss at Marshall. You know what I'm saying? Oh boy, they got drafted in the first round. That was from the University of Toledo to the Eagles. He was like the second cornerback taken off the board this year. You're gonna have your Tony Gonzalez. You're gonna have guys that's from your Steve McNairs, your Shannon Sharps, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna have guys from small college schools that's still gonna make it. So I still think it's still kind of unfair for the small colleges because I don't want to get into politics, but especially HBCUs be promised the sun, the stars, and the moon and never get that shit. You go there, they game jerseys are like practice jerseys from the 70s. It's a fucking shame. So I hate for when they talking about all this tier shit because those HBCU teams, they might be on the game. And I remember this way back when. Some people like, damn, this nigga old. But way back when, they used to have like Division 1, 2A on the game. You feel what I'm saying? So they might just give them the motherfucking stick. They don't even have HBCUs on the video game. You know, which would suck for them. So what I'm saying is, you know, it's very important, especially for these small colleges, to get any type of money, any type of funding, D2, D1, AA, whatever. James Madison is trying to get in there. They should have been in a bowl game this year. I mean, it's a lot of politics that goes into this shit, but I'm just a fair individual. So I like for it to be played fair as much as possible. I understand the Power 5 stuff. Y'all got the more TV viewers. Y'all have the more people that's going to the league. But there is a little dude on your team that ain't getting no shine. There is a little school out there that's not getting no shine. I would like the money to get spread out evenly. And the only way to do that is with a union.
Yeah. And I think I agree with Blair as far as they're going to come up with a flat rate of what they're going to be paying people.
They'll come up with a flat rate for division. Yeah. They're not going to even, I'm telling you, if they might tailor it for like basketball and football, and they might have like tailored price ranges or whatever. And maybe you can earn a bonus for not sucking. But at the same
time, let's say hypothetically, Quinn Ewers was the only dude or Sanders was the only dude on the cover. Don't you think he should get extra money for being on the cover?
Oh, definitely, yeah, definitely.
Pay him extra. That would have nothing.
Yeah, to do with the school. I think that would come out of his NIL money.
That would come from EA. That's not from the school. The school don't have to pay nothing from being on the cover. Like that ain't for them.
Yeah, true indeed.
But it does help the school as well.
It does help as
not enough. I ain't paying you for that.
So if you got
the point of money.
I feel you. I'm not saying that they should.
The point of them waving the money at you in the beginning before they could pay you was why they weighed facilities and who they could get to the league and how many people they did this and where people go on to do from this program. Like that's what they used to tell you before.
True.
So the pitch is no different. How much are you gonna get paid? They'd be like, hey, we agreed in the SEC that everybody getting paid this. Maybe your dude, your agent who you can't have can negotiate something better. But if they come
so
something,
you think on the flat rate should it be for all universities or just certain not divisions
so like
but
I feel like so you got to think, man. The reason the NCAA is over everything is because there's too many schools.
True.
Too many schools, too many divisions, too many lines. Like, so you have to think about it in terms of, which is why they usually give them autonomy over the conference. Your conference does this, your conference does that. Now the conference is gonna set this stuff. Is Michigan or is the Big Ten gonna pay some football dude that goes to Michigan versus Northwestern the same price? Probably not. Because technically, if you're going to Northwestern, you're going to Northwestern generally because you have to get in, and Northwestern is a smart person school, technically.
Right.
Schools that's like an academic school. So you don't necessarily expect them to be pumping out all these crazy athletes. Will they get one here or there? Absolutely. But do you expect a bunch of dudes from Northwestern to like be the best players in the league? No. That's just not how it works.
No.
So I feel like that's how it'll be. Like the conferences will set the scale. Could you come up with a union? But again, I feel like the union would have to be based in that conference. Because a union can't fight for Big Ten versus the MEAC. You know what I'm saying? Those aren't the same conferences. They don't produce the same amount of money. Like it's all different. So I feel like that would definitely be like you can have a union inside your conference. Your conference works with a union, and that'll be the fairest way in the same conference. There's really no way for one union to like standardize it for everything because then you're getting back to the NCAA, and it's too many moving parts.
Yeah, it is too many moving parts. I do want to ask this question too. I want to get Darius in here too. Do y'all feel like that by them, because esports generate different money. Some sports generate way more money than other sports. Do you feel like at certain schools they're going to start cutting sports because this certain sport is just not generating enough money and we can't pay you guys? It doesn't make sense for us to, as a university,
they're doing it.
Think about it
to
like
pay
this.
y'all.
Do you think that a dude on a ping pong scholarship is really trying to get paid to go to school? That dude is happy you paying for his college because he gets most of the athletes in the college are not trying to go pro. They're not even thinking about going pro. They play at a second tier small school. You understand your talent in reference to everything else if you play a sport, and you still ended up at this second tier small school. Like those people are more practical than people who have been told that they're going to be this thing. They're like the people who play and understand, like sometimes talent is talent. Both of y'all can be 6'5". It don't mean both of y'all first step is the same. Like talent is talent. The ones that end up at the smaller schools understand that talent is talent because they've been out talented before. That's how they ended up at this smaller school. So them taking the education because they're going to be a doctor or a lawyer or something that requires, architect, any of these business things, they have no intention on going pro. They're just using the athletics to get a full ride scholarship. Most of them aren't going to be asking for anything. They might want you to pay their rent is paid. They might want a stipend so they could grab something to eat when they want. But like you having to pay these dudes like $50K a year to go there is like, nah, bro. Our program ain't worth that much. Like you got to be realistic at a certain level.
I understand. I'm just saying for like athletic programs like like Ohio State or UCLA, they got like a big, massive athlete. You know, you got like synchronized swimming and water polo and
You know what
fucking
those are?
lacrosse.
You know what those are? Olympic events.
Right.
There's
Yeah.
always going to be a pipeline for that stuff. They don't have to pay those people. They just get the free education, bro. It's gonna, they're no different than than Olympic athletes. Like your chance to win is once every 4 years. Like you can work really
I
hard for 4
disagree.
years and get picked for
I
something.
disagree with that because just
I
because
disagree with that message too.
just because it's popular to you, don't mean it's not popular somewhere else.
Yeah, I don't mean somewhere else. I mean in the great skill. Like water polo is not the number one sport at anybody's school. I don't care what school it is. If you have a good water
This
polo
is the
team,
thing. This is
fantastic.
the thing.
And I'm
This
not
is the
saying
thing.
smaller
This is
sports aren't liked.
hold on, because I ain't said nothing this whole time. Every school's breadwinner is not basketball or football, especially at some of these smaller schools. So you can't say
Agreed.
that water polo or tennis or volleyball or hockey or none of these schools is going to be the ones that's bringing in the money. You're going to have to pay them dues because they the
Statistically,
ones that's
they
making the
say
money
the
for
three
you.
sports that bring in all the money are football, basketball, and track and field.
But that's not going to be everywhere. Every place is going to be different. That's not going to be exactly everywhere.
So you're just
Gonna
essentially
have to
saying,
keep you're going to have to keep the people happy who makes the money for you.
right?
And that's what I'm saying. The sports that aren't at these universities that aren't making the money, are they just going to be getting cut? You know what I'm saying? Like if you playing, I don't know,
They're not
badminton
going
at
to
Ohio
No,
State or
bro.
some shit.
They're
they're
not
not
Like
going
cutting those sports. Those
they're
sports
not going to
already
cut
had
the
a
sport.
place at the university.
Another thing,
wow.
they not going to give everybody this flat amount that they going to pay everybody because everybody can't pay that flat amount. And that's going to take away I feel like
Everybody in a
even
certain conference can. That's the point of them being
I
in
don't
that
even
conference,
I
though.
don't even think they're gonna do that just for the reason that you said. The money that they're making at Ohio State, they're not making at Northwestern. So they ain't gonna make Northwestern pay the same thing that Ohio State and Michigan is paying. I don't think they just gonna automatically do that. Now, do I
No,
feel
but they're
like
going to have a structure in place.
I don't even believe that. The only thing that I think they gonna have is maybe a cap on maybe the highest you can pay a player, maybe. But as far as everybody gotta pay this player this amount, I don't think it's gonna be like that. Cause like you said, somebody like Ohio State ain't gonna Northwestern ain't gonna bring in the money that Ohio State is bringing in. Or Georgia Tech ain't gonna bring in necessarily that Florida State money or that Clemson money. And this is gonna be one of them things that, hey, people use for recruiting. I feel like it's gonna be just like how we felt with the NIL deals. Or them boys in Texas, hey, they got that money down there. Hey, they gonna be able to throw it at them boys. You're gonna have bigger schools that's gonna be able to throw money at more players, but at the same time, even everybody on the team is not going to make the same thing. Because at the same time, that junk is going to depend on what you doing on the field. All 22 starters ain't putting asses in them seats. It can
That's
only
why I
be.
said they'll do it on a pay scale by the position if it's like an NFL thing.
I don't think it's going to be that because it's going to be too varied at every school. At
But
Ohio
see,
State,
here's
the
the thing,
quarterback.
but they're not going. They're not leaving it as the Wild West. And if the idea is that they're going
I
to
didn't
pay
say that they
flat
was going
across
to
the
leave it.
board,
I
even if
Which
don't
you're
you
think
not saying a price, you got to say a
I
percentage.
don't think they're gonna leave it as the Wild West. They don't necessarily have to
That's my
say a
point.
percentage
That's why the
because
conferences are going to
because
say it's not
I
going to be
don't think it's
across
gonna
all
be like
sports.
that because it's not like in every conference, every team has equal weight. Every team don't have equal weight,
But
so they
everybody
not.
has the same
I
vote
don't
in the
think they're gonna
conference.
split it up evenly between everybody because everybody don't have equal weight. Now, like I said, they might put a cap on like, oh, you just can't be out here just paying players millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? Everybody be like the cap might be 150,000 or 200,000 or something like that. But just being like oh yeah, from top to bottom, you can only pay your top player this much. I don't think they're gonna do it like that.
I believe it'll be more like that than you think, bro. Because why
Because
wouldn't it?
some
So
people,
you got
because
to
that
think
goes
when you
back to
bring
the
up
job thing.
Northwestern ain't
Everybody
just
doing
letting anybody in the
the
school. Like
that's
Northwestern
the
has academic
biggest thing
requirements
is
you have to get into their
everybody
university.
doing that's just like if you're doing a job. Everybody might be doing the same job. Do you pay your best worker the same thing that you pay the worker that's
At
the most
some
work?
jobs, they do get paid
No,
the
you
same.
don't. No, you don't. The cream
Yes,
of the
they
crop
do,
always
bro. I don't.
top.
The only time you don't pay the same money is when money is public. When money
Cream of
ain't
the
public,
crop,
you ain't trying to pay
cream,
nobody nothing
cream of the crop
on a
always rise.
business.
Cream of the crop always rise to the top. That's why you got some people that only work on the line. You got the niggas that run the niggas on the line, and you got the niggas that run them niggas. All them niggas don't make the same amount of money.
Dude, those are different positions in a company. That ain't the same. Y'all ain't doing the same job.
Exactly. You're not doing the same job.
You just
And
labeled
that's
three
what I'm
different
saying.
positions.
And that's
That's
and
like
that's what I'm
saying the
saying. Hold
players,
on.
the coaches,
No,
and the AD.
this
That's what
no,
you
this is
just
what I'm
said.
saying.
That's
This
not the
is what I'm
same
saying.
thing.
This person that's just standing there on the sideline plugging in for a special team, or when the person on the second string get hurt, ain't pulling in the
Didn't
same
I
money
say
as the
they'll pay?
number
So
one
the
recruit
special
on the
teams
team.
players will get paid special teams prices.
No, I don't think it's gonna be no special
So you
teams
think
price. They're gonna
everybody's
determine
just
it by
gonna
player.
negotiate their own wage as this goes through? Like every player is just gonna negotiate a wage.
Yeah, I feel like you gonna pay some players something, and other players, because of what they do, they gonna deserve to get paid more.
Well, see,
So what's different than what I said if they paying in categories, bro? Like if I said they're paying quarterbacks more than
My
they're
thing is,
paying linemen.
because my thing is, at your school, the quarterback might not be what's bringing in the bread. That's what I'm saying.
Ain't nobody going to the game to see a lineman, bro. Like that's not why it packs the stands. A
Well,
lineman ain't packing your stands, bro. Come on, man. Come on.
if this lineman is the best at what he do, then that's what the people is coming to see. It's plenty of schools where the quarterback ain't the best player. They
That
going to
don't
see
mean
the
they ain't going to see the
they
quarterback. They're
they
going to
going
see their team score points and win,
they
bro.
going
It's
to
all
see.
about scoring and
Oh,
winning.
oh, and I got the perfect example right now.
Let me hear it.
Hold on? Was they watching Ohio State games to see this white boy throw the ball, or was they going to see Marvin Harrison do it?
we're going to see Marv.
Thank
I
you.
get it. I get what you're saying, but this
Again, you're
is
talking
why.
about a skill position. The same reason I said quarterbacks versus it's gonna be like if that's the case, it's gonna be like NFL salaries, bro. Your position group will be broken up into a certain amount of money that they're willing to
But
pay.
see, that's why I said because it's so varied in the NCAA. That's why I feel like they're not gonna do it by no position group. I feel like they'll just put a cap on the amount that you can pay any
A
of these
certain
players, and
certain
then
players.
they'll be able to
I don't
decide
know because the whole
But
because
point, like
because
before
you're
money,
not
all
gonna
the reasons the schools were the best schools is because they got the best players. So you
and what
saying the
I'm
best
saying
players are
is
not going to go to those
and what
schools
I'm saying
anymore
is
because
that
a
every
smaller school
school
can pay them more money?
and what I'm saying is that every school they not every school the player that's bringing in the bread is not always going to be the same position. That's why they're going to give them the power to choose who they want to pay, but they ain't going to just because you came to Ohio State and you Marvin Harrison Jr. don't mean that you can make $3 million. But if the cap is 100,000, yeah, we'll pay Marvin Harrison Jr. 100,000. And what was the quarterback name y'all had?
Al McCord.
Yeah,
So
he
my
getting
point,
paid.
yeah, but
He
that's
not
my
making as
point.
much as the dude that's getting talked about every day.
But
That's bringing the eyes to the
But the
team.
boosters would be paying that money. So if the school's paying according to position,
And the
and
boost
that's where I was getting.
the
and the
boosters are filling
boosters
in
are
the rest of
gonna
that
pay
money.
the
They're
name
going to
that they hear. They gonna
yeah.
pay Marvin Harrison Jr. They gonna pay
Listen,
the name.
where I think
They wanted that quarterback too, bro. I don't know what number he was in the country, but he had
I
to be
didn't
some
say
good
I didn't
quarterback
say
in the
that.
country.
I'm not saying that they didn't want him. I didn't say that, but there's a clear hierarchy on every team, and the quarterback is, especially in college, because it's so much it's so much it's so many
The talent
variables.
is so spread
Yeah,
out, but they
you
still
gonna
have
pay the
they all
talent.
still
You're
want
not
the same
necessarily
thing.
gonna pay the highest by the position.
They still all want the same thing. They all want a good quarterback. They all want good receivers and
And
good,
there
like they all want the same thing.
and
Just
there's
because you don't
nothing
have the best one,
and
sometimes you
it
got to
and
pay the one
there's
that comes to your
nothing wrong
school.
and there's nothing wrong with that. But whoever, if the breadwinner on you gonna pay the best player the most. It don't matter
Well,
if it's a quarterback. It don't matter if it's running back. It don't matter if it's
So you
receiver.
say you just paying the best player coming out of high school. You don't know what that dude is going to do in college.
No, I'm talking about the best player on your team. Of
After
course,
he
the
did,
best
you mean
player.
so after he's
Of
been on
course,
your
the
team
best
for
player
a
out
year?
of high school. Of course, the best player out of high school gonna get paid. It's only one of them.
I'm just saying. So by that rationale, at the end of the year, you get your money. Like after we find out if you suck or not, we don't pay you the first year.
I'm not saying that.
So how do I know if you suck? Like, why would I pay you a bunch of money and you ain't played yet?
And I'm not saying that you gonna necessarily pay them at the very top of the threshold if they
But that's
just
why
coming
I'm
out.
saying if you pay an average and then you get in bonuses for like
I don't think it's
performance.
gonna be an average because you're not gonna pay this 5-star running back the same thing you paid the walk on.
I hear what you're saying,
Ain't
but I
that
think
5-star running back
In the
worth
beginning,
more
hold
than
on.
what you think in the league?
That's just
Like
like
that's what are we
that's
weighing
just
it
like
against at that
that's
point?
just like with anything else. That's just like with anything else. If you come in proven with a resume that you are better at these skills, you have a chance to make higher money than somebody coming in at the same position that you doing the same thing. But you have the proven track record. If 2 years from now this person has upped their game or proven this and you slip, then it'll change.
this argument right here proves that
Yeah.
they need a union. They need a union right there. One.
I feel like
Two,
they only need a union to guarantee that they getting paid.
I
Of
think
course,
they need a
they
union again.
not going
No,
in
they
there
need
like,
a
oh, you
union
just
to make
paying
it
this nigga
fair, so
Yeah,
$20
everybody can
or
know what's going on.
$20 to eat,
The
and
only
shit like
problem
that.
with unions is they get big over time, and sometimes they can go against the betterment
yeah,
of the union. Like,
of the players. I
yeah,
think one,
And
they
I
need a union
feel
so to make sure that they don't get fucked. Two, I think what he was originally talking about when we were talking about the revenue sharing, he think it's going to be a blanket, which I agree with. I think they're going to come out with a blanket amount of money. Here's why I say that's why I agree with him right there, because I think they're feeling like, okay, since we have NIL in place, whatever you're going to generate as a player, as far as advertisement, anything else that you're selling yourself, and you already are getting that money, that's cool. But with us as a university, we're going to come out with this blanket amount of money that we're going to give you, period, for being on the team.
this is a
Whatever
part
that,
of the
whatever that is,
scholarship.
if that's
It's gonna be
right,
part of the
it's part of the
scholarship.
scholarship. Whatever, with the scholarship, we're gonna give you $100,000 for this particular season. Whatever you generate from the marketing that you get, your Sprite commercial that you end up doing, like DJ, you did the Dr. Pepper stuff. Whatever, that's all your money because you are who you are. We don't factor in you are who you are here. We're going to give you a blanket amount from the school. Now, anything else that you generate besides that is going to be your NIL money. That's why I was agreeing with Blair when he said that they're going to come out with a blanket amount. Like, okay, we're going to pay you guys all, no matter who you are, if you're walking or
They'll
anything,
find
because
ways to pay
all
you
that extra
extra,
stuff,
bro. I'm
right? Because
telling you.
the extra stuff is how you play, which is going to generate your NIL money, which is going to be like, hey, we don't dictate us as a school at Ohio State, Notre Dame, Oklahoma. We don't dictate the amount of money you're going to make off the field with your NIL money. We're not going to pay you because you the star on the team. We're going to pay you because you just play on the team. Now, everything else is what you generate from your play and who you are. If you that nigga, you're going to get
Comes
paid with
down
your
to the
NIL
same
money.
pitch.
And
You
that's
get
why I
out
was
of it
agreeing
what
with
you
Blair at that point. But I also could see it the other way of what you're saying. Like, no, the school's going to have to dish this cat out some more money because he the one that's bringing the people, putting the people in the seats. I feel you there too, but also there's also brand loyalty. These are schools that people gonna come no matter if their school is good or not. You know, people still go to Notre Dame even though there was booty and they still on TV. So that's also a part that you got to factor into everything
But
too.
now the difference is now these niggas getting paid.
Yeah, yeah,
So it's gonna
yeah.
make a difference. Yeah,
So
if
that's
people
the
was
thing.
gonna
Like
come
that's
to
what they use the
that,
boosters for.
that's why shit, hey, Nick Saban them boy getting up out of there because they know that
Yeah,
junk gonna make a difference, man.
it's making
That
a
junk gonna make a
difference.
difference, bro. And if you
Now,
just saying that, oh, we just gonna pay everybody just the same thing, NIL still gonna control everything.
yeah, but
The
I think
schools trying. I feel like the schools feel like with this, they can kind of dig their foot down in the dirt a little more to try to bring some, not necessarily, but as far as like bringing the eyes and the athletes to your school, I feel like they want to use this as a tool to do that. Like, hey,
mm-hmm,
we Ohio State, shit, I can offer you more than a goddamn Georgia Tech for coming
mm-hmm,
here. You know what I'm saying? Just because,
mm-hmm.
hey, that's what it is. Oh, I'm Texas.
Yep.
No,
The rich gonna stay rich.
we got black gold down here. I can offer you a little more than another school can do. That's why you need to come here.
But if you think about the schools, like so you think they can offer more money in Texas than they can in Alabama? Would
I
they?
mean,
See, but that's
but
what
you
that was
Would
a
they?
blue blood
But
stuff.
I'm saying,
that,
but would they?
that's two.
That's what I'm weighing it
We
against. Like they
we
already
talking
have
about
these
two. We
NIL
talking about
programs in
two
place.
schools. We talking about two schools in the same bracket at that point.
Right, but I'm
Yeah,
saying
Texas,
they already
Alabama.
have NIL in place at a lot of these schools because the schools couldn't play them. Like they have these programs and these boosters in place. But as far as the school paying you, so like you going to Alabama is still good for your career. You still got a better chance of going to Alabama and making it to the league than you do of going to South Carolina State.
mm-hmm.
It just is what it is. Like it don't matter if you rode the pine, they'll give you a chance at say just saying you went to Alabama or like man, I went to South Carolina State or I went to North
Yes.
Carolina and like it or North Carolina or the 49ers. Like it's still a difference. Like the level of player is still looking for the best situation they can be in. Financially will sway a lot because it already has. But the teams that are still good in NIL under all the similar circumstances. I understand why the old coaches are getting out because it's about to be a whole new game, and they like, I don't like this game because they
Mm-hmm.
were used to selling you on
You
the
know
blue
why?
blood nature
Because
of it.
in
But
some of
now you
these
gotta sell.
places,
You might have to sell them on something a
Because it
little
gives the
bit
players
more.
in
power.
some of these places, it's not gonna be the same.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama
Some
ain't
won't.
gonna be the same.
No, Alabama
Clemson,
won't at first. But
Clemson ain't
Alabama will
gonna
be
be.
fine.
It ain't gonna be the same though,
I
and that's
agree.
the whole point.
I agree.
It ain't
Now,
gonna be the same.
I will say this. I think the NCAA, with this move, I also think that the NCAA is viewing it as like the Power Five conferences. If you are in the Power Five conferences, you got the money to pay the same thing that Ohio State
Yes,
is paying because you have a TV deal that each school, because you in the conference with Ohio State and Michigan and Penn State, they and Iowa, they giving you the ability to be able to get $100 million in a season, and you can take that, and that's all revenue sharing from the TV deal or whatever. You have the ability to take a recruit or two
but
because
we
you
all
got the
know.
same money, but we all know
But that,
it's not the
yeah, I'm
same
about to say
thing.
that lean back to a blood man. We all know that pie ain't split equal.
Yeah, that because it's not the same thing. Because
Nowhere
I'm not
near
going.
it.
Here's
We
the thing, like
we're
so,
not gonna
like
watch you at Notre.
The Big Ten deal, as far as I know, they split that the same. Like
Yeah, they
every
split it the
team,
same.
every school in the Big Ten gets the same amount of money. It's a ridiculous amount of money,
Oh
but
yeah,
it's the same
like
amount of money. And
it's
I understand what
a
you're
$1 billion.
saying about like the programs aren't the same, but you still got to think like certain schools in a conference are made like yes, Notre Dame, not Northwestern has all the sports, but nobody's
Mm-hmm.
looking to them to be like the leader in any sport. They just have a team. It's a smart school. It's a school that's like, hey, smart
Mm-hmm.
people come here. So it would be no different than like the Harvard, because they don't pay them. And I'm pretty sure they're still not paying them dudes at Harvard or Yale or like, because they don't do scholarships. Like they ain't paying athletes to go there. You just gotta like grade in and get in the school, because they don't offer those type of scholarships at like Ivy League schools. So like those schools are still gonna suck. They're still gonna run across some dudes who are smart that can play a sport. It'll happen. But the West of everybody else is gonna split their money in their division. Like, so ACC has no chance of paying what Big Ten can pay, just because the nature of that terrible contract they signed. Like, they don't get any money in that joint. Like, and at first it was decent, but now they all look like paupers. And they like, bro, if we come out the backside of this deal, we're all gonna be broke.
And that's why I think they're gonna put just a cap on the threshold that you can pay a player. But of course, shit, niggas at Ohio State, they gonna be at the top end of that spectrum. And like you said, a conference like the ACC, you probably gonna be hovering more towards the middle.
Middle.
You know what I'm saying? And then if you in the WAC or some other crazy junk, you probably gonna be tailoring on the lower end. You can't afford to pay what these Big Ten niggas.
Bro, there's a lot of money in college, like just overall. Like colleges have money. They have a lot of money at that.
Yeah.
So like the idea that they can't pay these dudes is crazy. But that you think they're about to pay like ridiculous? Nah. It's 55 dudes on the team. Or like 85, like it's like 55 scholarship athletes on the team.
And that's just we just talking about a couple of sports, man. You talking about all the sports. So now you talking about hundreds or close to 1,000 athletes per school type shit.
Depending on depending on what your school provides.
Athletes, but all of those athletes aren't trying to go pro in something. Some of them would actually like to get paid a couple dollars and get to go to school.
But I feel like with this, hey, you taking pro out of the equation. Then fuck that, because it's all about what you doing for these motherfuckers right here.
Yeah, you taking the word amateurism that never existed out of the equation.
Yeah,
like that word is gone.
It's because now it's like,
hey, it's some doctors come out of football programs. It ain't a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard work.
I mean, 99% of athletes not going pro. So.
Exactly. And about 80, I feel like about 85% of them know it.
Facts.
About 85% know they're not going pro. They like it, so they getting everything they can out of it. So you don't necessarily need to go to the best school if they're gonna take care of you, pay you, and you get the free ride with the benefits.
Yep.
Well, I mean, we'll see. I'll say this right now, period, point blank. This has been I've watched a lot of these conversations on the YouTube. This is by far has been the best conversation on this topic that I've heard, period, point blank. Because everybody's just like, oh, yeah, say one or two things and move on. No. We actually got into the nitty gritty of what these players need and how we think it's going to break it down, how they're going to break it down, and how they're going to try to pay these players or how they try to come at them. So y'all need to watch this podcast, man. This the shit right here, boy. I'm trying to tell you, boy, we getting in it. Just saying. Everybody's point had legitimate points. Love this shit, man. Love this shit. But let's move on to the NBA playoffs. Since we last left you guys, some things happened. The Boston Celtics have completed a sweep. It at the Pacers, it just wasn't. It didn't even feel fair. I mean, they tried. They really did try. I feel like they blew the last two games. I mean, we were watching. It was just they didn't have a shot. I didn't believe that they could do it, especially when you got your best player that's kind of hobbled and he limping around the court. It's just not happening. Boston had a sweet ride on to the finals. Right now, game 4, Dallas is, well, I think it's tied right now, 66 all, in the third, and Minnesota's trying to avoid being swept. So we're going to see how that turns out, but it's looking like it's going to be Dallas and Boston in the finals, man. y'all have any early thoughts possibly on the matchup so far?
So we
Who
missed this
you
whole
think
one. We
might
didn't get
have
to
the
talk about it
advantage?
last week, so we didn't get to say who we picked, and now those picks have gone to ashes for most people because everybody picked Minnesota
Yeah, I think
except
we
for me.
all thought.
Except
I
for me.
mean,
Except for me.
rightfully so. Rightfully so. You knock off the defending champ, everybody's gonna. I roll Minnesota. That, and I felt like me
I didn't pick
personally.
Minnesota, bro.
I know you didn't pick Minnesota. You was the only one. You was the contrarian in the group. But I rightfully felt that, as I should, I felt that
As I
Minnesota
should.
size, Minnesota size, that Dallas couldn't match up with Minnesota size, and they was going to take advantage of that. But you watch the game, they're not even using a size. They hover around the 3-point line, like, and we already know Rudy can't score, so they're playing 4-on-5 anyway already for the most part anyway.
And
So
one.
what are you going to do? Like, how's this even happening?
Well, with the Wolves that Mav series, you done had a 2-point game, a 1-point game, and at the end of the score was an 11-point game, but it was a 2-point game all the way up until a minute and a half. So just as like Minnesota down 3-0, they could have easily been up 3-0 in these games. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like the Wolves or the Mavs was a bad pick. It's just one team's a little more savvy veterans have shown to show up in the clutch, and the other guys, hey, that's unfortunately when it seems like their youthness has come out when it's time for the rubber to meet the road. But I feel like it's been this series at least has been good compared to the Indiana series. I never really felt like Indiana never really had no chance. I feel like they had a great season. I feel like they overachieved a little bit, got some breaks, as with Boston with all the injuries in the East or whatever. But shoot, Boston better win this year or I won't hear shit about Jason Tatum ass no more.
That is for you, bro. This is it. You down with Jason Tatum?
You can't. I can't hear nothing else about Jason Tatum, and then all of a sudden, shoot, Luka, it was on this upward track, and then if he get there, he just go ahead and win the shit.
Because he hasn't made it. He made it to the conference finals last time, so I guess it is a jump over 2 years. What two conference finals over the last 3 years?
Yes, this dude Jason Tatum, I think he's been in the league 6 years and been like 5 conference finals. Like experience is no longer.
Jason Tatum been in the league like 7 years, bro.
He done been to like 5 conference finals.
Yeah,
yeah,
quite a few. Maybe 7 out of 8 years. Like it's been a crazy run.
This is his 7th year. This is Luka's 6th year.
My thing is, if this would have been any other person we consider on Jason Tatum's caliber, we'd have been like, hey, what the fuck is going on? So for him, I gotta be like, hey, bro, what the fuck going on, man? I want to hear this shit. They was supposed to beat the Warriors. I still stand by that shit. They was supposed to beat the Warriors, but they blew that shit. So he gotta get it done this year, man.
That's fair. It's fair assessment. Fair assessment. I mean, but the playoffs have been interesting. Sean, I know you don't care. We all know you don't care about the playoffs.
This conference finals has been.
We know you don't care, and you're trying not to watch.
Good games though.
But I'm going to ask you this question: in the finals, because it looks like we're going to get the Mavs versus Boston. Who you taking? Jason Tatum or Luka?
Jason Tatum.
You take a Tatum?
I'm taking Tatum.
I'm taking Luka. Easy.
Over
Luka? Really?
I'm taking Tatum. And on top of that, I got 25 to say he gonna win it. They gonna win it.
You got 25?
I would say.
But it's busy.
You got 25 on it?
20. Hey, I can pay you with cash, cupcakes.
Hey,
However you want
lock me in, cuz. If the Mavericks make the
You
finals,
heard it here
lock me
Nah,
first.
in.
hold on.
No,
Your
no.
team gotta make it though.
That's what I said.
Oh,
If the
okay.
He
Mavericks make
said he
it,
taking it.
if the Mavericks make it, lock me in, dog, for that 25.
Okay.
I need that.
And I just think they got a better overall team, bro. I don't see motherfucking PJ banging with none of these dudes. Like Chris said, they use motherfucking the cat totally wrong. Maybe it was him. Cat do got a 3-pointer. Cat do got a 3-pointer, but that wasn't the time, man. You 7 foot tall against a guy that's 6'6". You know what I'm saying? That's some change. He should have been banging that dude. You got two twin towers. Y'all niggas shooting threes. I didn't understand that at all.
I would 100% agree with that. If Cat
Yeah,
plays at 70% great, the Wolves is up 3-0.
I agree.
He has been completely
Yeah, he
ass
been trash, bro. He was like
completely
3
ass.
22
And
on
they done
threes
been
or
in,
something. He had like some
yeah,
awful percentages.
and they done been in every game, aside from that.
Do y'all think that he's passing the torch too early to Ant?
No.
When you say pass the torch, what you mean? Cat?
I don't think
he was
Cat to me
what I
was
mean by
never
that, he
the
was a
dude,
guy
bro.
for that team.
He was the reason they was bad. Like he was the reason they never made it. Was Cat to me? Because Cat does the same thing he's been doing his whole career, dude. He takes
I
terrible
disagree with that.
fouls, and he likes.
So you think they would have made it without Cat?
But he was also the best player on them teams.
He was.
Even when Jimmy,
that's what I'm saying.
I feel like even when Jimmy Butler was there, bro, it's Carl Anthony Towns' team because he the nigga that can give you 20 and 15 every night, bro.
Every night.
He could,
and he was. But I feel like he didn't. I feel like Cat is better than. I feel like he could have been better than he is. And, he's a good player. Like, it's plenty of people who will be ready to take that, like 23 and 13 that he give you.
Yeah,
but I feel like he could have been 28 and
He's supposed to be
people
man.
don't like Cat, I think, is because they think he should have been better than he is, bro.
Yeah.
And he thinks he's better than he is too.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like two things. One, I feel like Cat is better than what he plays, and it's frustrating to watch because he doesn't play it the way you think he should play it. But it's your game. It's the way you want to play it. Two, I don't think he handed off the torch too early because
the coach is asking him to shoot 20 fucking threes, man. He's not motherfucking.
Yeah, he's like 3 for 20.
Yeah, I understand that. But that's what I'm saying. That's on him. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's his game. That's how he wants to be. That's how he wants to be used. He think he's changing the game by being the big man that shoots threes.
Part of that is, I feel like part of that is also coaching.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have to. This series, they should have. Ant Edwards is the best player. Of course, he gonna do what he do, but the plays should have ran through Cat on the block, bro. Like you need your best player to get more space.
Cat don't like the block, bro.
It don't matter. Put him on the block where he gonna have the advantage. I ain't saying what I'm saying is hold on.
And that's what I'm saying.
I'm not saying that you got to put him there and he just killing his matchup every time.
I know,
but that's gonna give you the space you need. That's all.
But
I agree with that.
Cat doesn't want to do the thing.
But then bench your big ass and put in Nas lead.
Exactly. As a coach, guess what? As a coach, hey, I'm coaching. You playing, nigga. You playing.
And he sucks at it apparently because he won't do it.
No, that's the thing. We've seen him do it.
I got one nigga down here that is absolutely garbage on offense. I can't do shit with him. I do it with him.
Right.
And that's what I'm
And
saying.
then in
And
this series, shit, we back. Hey, dude, Rudy Gobert got like 3 asterisks on these player of the year, defensive player of the years, bro. He always be the liability, bro.
you
Somehow.
can't because the way he plays the pick and roll, they taking advantage of it every time.
But
And
Luka is killing this nigga.
Killing him, bro. Luka and Kyrie know what they're doing.
And they telling other players to kill him, bro. I'm like, come on. How you the defensive player of the year? Everybody can't kill you, bro.
Not an individual defender.
And that's my thing. And two, I don't think he handed off the reins to Ant-Man. I think Ant-Man took it because he got tired of the bullshit. Like, if you're not gonna do this, I'ma take it.
If you didn't think he felt that way, the game that Ant had that was not a great game, that game 7, the first thing Cat said is, see, we did it as a team, not just one man. Like, that was one of the first things he said out of his mouth in the post game. Because Cat don't like it either, bro. Cat want to be the dude.
But then he got to play like
he want to be the finesse dude, though. He just want to shoot trays all the time, bro. Like, it's crazy to me.
That's what. If you hit him, you be the dude, but you ain't hitting him. So guess what? The dude is the nigga who is hitting him. The nigga who coming in the interviews, taking the credit and taking the blame, nigga. When they lose, he come out there like, no, I didn't have enough energy. It start with me. Cat wasn't doing that. He had opportunity to do that. He had opportunity.
Never did it, bro.
Never did it. And now, guess what? Hey, what size is your Robin suit, nigga? And now, right now,
extra large.
This nigga Alfred.
You Alfred now.
Nigga Alfred, bro. He just chilling. He just chilling, bro. Hey, I saw a replay the other night when Karl Anthony Towns had made a play and he was trying to like get hype and stuff. It didn't even look believable.
That's also a problem with him, bro. Everybody think he be faking.
Bro, it didn't look believable.
I honestly think he's just so happens to be a corny dude, and we don't really know.
Yeah, like, we ain't no problem with him being a corny dude,
and like how we see you as a basketball and how your game comes across. Like, a lot of the stuff he does seems inauthentic. And I'm not saying he's not an authentic dude. I honestly just think he's kind of corny. Like, it just so happens to be he's a 7-foot cornball.
Hey, a lot of people thought Tim Duncan was corny. This nigga the best power forward.
No. They thought Tim Duncan was basic, bruh. Because he didn't say cornball stuff. Bruh. They do cornball stuff in the game.
I don't know, dog. Tim Duncan was kind of corny, nigga.
No, Tim Duncan is a square, bro. Tim Duncan is a by the book type of dude. You be like, hey man, put this.
I feel like Karl Anthony Towns a square.
I feel like he's corny. Cornies and squares are different, bro. Like, that's why I'm like,
that's a fine line.
I think it's a fine line. I feel like Tim is a square. I feel like he corny. You know the difference between a square and a cornball. So a square is like, I wear my pants up to my waist. I wear my Doc Martens with my button up, 3-button polo, nice and pressed. A cornball is somebody who like is dressing in what they think is cool. So like they got on, you like, why you got that? Hey, like, hey man, one time clocks was cool. One time big chains was cool.
Hey,
sometimes oversized clothes was cool.
Either way,
everything from the last 3 decades.
So you're saying he's Drake-ish?
It wouldn't matter.
Drake-ish. Come on, bro.
What? Niggas
Drake is a cornball. He is corny.
But that segues great into my next point. Hey, you can be a cornball and be him. You can be a cornball and be Drake, nigga. You can be a cornball and be Nick Cannon.
Mm-hmm.
You don't gotta be
I
booty.
saw something. I ain't even gonna say it, but you're right. I guess there's levels of cornballs. Some cornballs are more believable than others, bro. I guess there's
Hey, that's
levels.
You can still,
hilarious,
I
hey,
thought
man.
you can
corny dude.
still,
I'm not a
you
huge
can
fan
still
of
do
Drake.
your
So
job
like you
at a
saying
high
Drake is
level.
kind of corny. Like I'm not a huge fan of like Drake. I've never been like a Drake guy. Like that was
What I'm saying is, even though some people might view him corny, he still do his job at a high level.
you right.
Cat can still do
Drake is
that.
paid and Drake made it. But again, those are more exceptions to the rules. Most corny dudes don't make it that far. You can be corny and be an athlete. We see that all the time. Like, these
Thanks.
dudes can be anything. You hear these dudes talking about they went like tree knocking for Sasquatch, like some linemen who used to play in the NFL. Like, if you don't think that's weird, bro, like, what are we doing out here in these streets? Like, it's a lot of weird and corny dudes. Cat just seems, I think that's he seems inauthentic. Like the stuff he says, like some of his mannerisms, they
So
seem
that's less
more,
corny, I guess, more
that's the
fake, I guess.
cornball of it. Like just not being yourself. Like trying to be
I
what you
definitely
think
feel like
everybody else thinks is cool.
he be pretending sometimes.
That's fair. That's fair. I do want to ask y'all this question. If the Mavericks
Oh,
survive and advance to the NBA Finals
If
and win the NBA Finals, is Luka Doncic the greatest Mavericks player of all time?
not yet.
no, not even close.
I say no. I can't.
Not
I'm not
yet.
going that
He's
far.
not
You
even
gotta just
remotely
let.
close to that yet, bro. Like he's
But
not even
I feel like if they win the title, the hardest part of him becoming the greatest Maverick is over.
right.
Yeah.
The rest of it is just numbers.
Yeah, as long as his numbers is close, yeah, it's over. He's the best Maverick of all time.
Oh my
It's
Yeah.
god.
got to be close. Only because right now he's ahead of the track. So shoot,
Definitely ahead of the curve.
I feel like he made an impact a lot faster. Personally,
Dirk did.
yeah,
Yeah.
Dirk did
Yeah.
go to two. He went to two finals, so 1-1. So we'll see how that goes. If Luka can get two, he the best Maverick ever.
Oh.
And he got to win an MVP too. He got to give him an MVP.
But we feel like that's probably
He'll
gonna
probably
happen.
get one of them eventually.
I mean, because I think he
I
probably
don't
should
know
have
if he wins two
possibly got
titles,
it this
he might
year.
not necessarily gotta win an MVP.
He probably should have got it this year. He
He'll be-
averaged 33, 9, and 9, bro.
Because he'll be in
Yeah,
the
so
conversation.
like everybody was stuck on Jokic. I feel like nobody really took into account like the last few games of the season. Like they didn't take
And
into
his
account the season.
numbers,
For the
his
ones
numbers this year,
that wanted to pick Jokic, they threw it out. And that was most of the dudes was like, well, it doesn't matter. They're still the number 2 seed. It doesn't matter that they're the number 1 seed. But we're talking about like the regular season, and that's like the body of work this award is supposed to be for. So,
and his numbers this year probably better than a lot of people MVP season.
like that's why, like, so Luka's numbers were good, but because they were 5, they were never gonna
bump him up to where he probably should have been.
They should have put Shea in there, but they didn't. And the only one left is Luka.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, Luka is, he on his way, man. 5 All-Star teams, 5 first-team All-NBA, NBA Rookie of the Year.
Good. He'll have a lot of numbers, but
Yeah, he had the scoring
right
title
now
this
in
year.
Dallas, nah, he ain't been there long enough. He hasn't done it consistently enough for long enough.
Eventually, he'll be bigger than Dirk.
Should be.
Sean, what you say? Is would he be the greatest of all time if he
If you win this year?
Yeah.
Nah. But I would say a lot of people would still be argumentative because of what he's doing currently. Like, it's like sometimes, besides like legends, like the greatest of all time, like people gonna remember Mike for a long time. even kids now that's 20 years old never seen Mike play, but they know they still, if they was in the sports, would say Mike is one of the greatest of all times. It's like Dirk, he would never. I mean, in my opinion, I'm saying he would never be considered as the greatest of all time. But as the Maverick, yes, true indeed. And there's it's a short list of great Maverick players. You know what I'm saying? So Luka definitely could be there sooner than later because it's really not much to pick from. You know what I'm saying? So I think winning a championship. I agree with Darius on the fact that if he won two, I don't think he would need an MVP. But if he won an MVP and not a chip and still post those type of numbers, I think he could still pass Dirk.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But he would have to pass Dirk. Like his numbers would have to actually.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, true indeed. I agree with that. But see, he's a different style player, though. Dirk was most of a post, had a nice little Dirk Nowitzki kick fade. And he's more of a point guard for real. He distributes the ball. He just can't play no defense. He does everything that's what he does. So with that being said, I think his numbers will look better than Dirk's across the board, for as assist numbers, points, things like that. So I do agree with you, Blair. He would have to pass Dirk in certain categories. But overall, if he got two chips, bro.
Guy, so
if he got two chips, though, if he bring two chips to Dallas, just like even with LeBron, I know y'all hate hearing that name, but LeBron winning a championship kind of solidified in Chris' eyes as him being the greatest of all time since he won that joint in Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people waited years for Cleveland to win any fucking thing, baseball, basketball, or football. So that means a lot to the community in whole. I think him winning a championship in our current status, man, that's going early, and he still got years to go for our stats. Oh yeah, it'll be tough. It'll be tough to go against that.
Facts.
But do y'all really think Luka is the type of guy that's gonna hang around for 20 years, man?
No.
Yeah, that's what I say.
No, because he's already flat out said he's like I'm. Listen, when I get about 10 years in, hey, it's
10
might be.
Well, I guess technically he's been playing pro for like 15 years at that point. So
yeah, because he's been playing pro since he was like 15 years old or some shit like that. So
he was like 14 years old.
Yeah. So he's like, bro, when I get about 10 years into the NBA thing, might be time, bro. I know for a fact I ain't gonna be in here 20 years like him.
Real quick,
but think about it. 10 years. If he played 10 years and win two ships,
man, he's the man.
Finish close, even if he don't win an MVP. We know multiple times he done been close in MVP voting.
He the man.
He the man. I agree.
But real quick though, y'all see my boy who I said about a year ago, Alexander Starr. He supposed to be going first overall. Y'all was like, who's that guy? I gotta do research on him. If I said that, Chris, we can rewind the episodes. He's a monster. That's all I want to say though.
We watched some tape.
Okay.
Basketball, man.
You nice.
I'll be watching that, man. I'll be watching. They actually, because we on basketball subject, they actually show some I don't want to say it wrong, but it's the African basketball NBA league over there.
Yeah,
I've actually seen some of those games on TV too. Like, I mean, it might be on NBA TV. I got so many damn channels, so I can't say which one it is. Well, I done seen they be having like the little backstories on these guys and everything, bro, showing their house, meeting their family, where they come from. Like, man, so I be doing my homework. These guys, man, them guys over in Africa can hoop too.
Yeah. Real quick, I do want to get y'all thoughts on the NBA on NBC coming back. How y'all feel about that?
I love it.
I love that.
I love it, bro. I love it, man. I missed a lot of stuff from when I was coming up, bro. My Saturdays used to be golden. The weekends, and you watching some basketball on regular TV, man, and recording them shits. And bro, I remember watching when Matt Jordan came back on NBC when he wore the 4-5. I don't know if y'all remember that,
Yep.
but I can remember that like it was yesterday.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I
Yes.
remember Shaq bringing down the rim on NBC.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Well, busting the glass, whatever y'all want to call it. But yes, that's very good for a lot of older folks, especially those that don't. Old people be tight on their money anyway. So basic channels, they can watch their sports. Because my dad always calling me, "Hey man, what the Lakers do?" Like, damn nigga, get some damn cable, man. You know what I'm saying? Google ESPN or something. But yeah, man, I like that to have it on public channels, man. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's great.
It depends on who they put on the broadcast.
Yeah, I think that's definitely gonna be key.
Albert.
But that
Did y'all ever watch NBA's Inside Stuff, man?
yes, inside
Y'all remember
stuff
Inside Stuff
with Ahmad Rashad.
Man,
Yes.
what? I even remember the joint with Grant Hill.
Yes, I do too. I think it's definitely gonna have a nostalgic feeling to it. But like Darius said, they still got to come with it. You still got to hire the proper people to broadcast the game, to call the games, because those things make it different. You know what I'm saying? Marv Albert was called the game last time the NBA had was
What
on
y'all think
NBC.
about Steve Van Gundy? Mark Jackson go to NBC.
Jeff Van Gundy, you talking about?
Yeah, Jeff. My fault.
To carry it for the whole year, I don't know.
Possibly. I just want to know what kind of games they're going to be getting because they're still going to be on ABC, which is great because then you got ABC and NBC.
ESPN too, ain't it?
Yeah, and ESPN too.
ESPN on ABC.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because it's Disney. It's all Disney. So, I don't know if they're going to be getting those. Like ABC is going to get Saturday, NBC going to get Sunday. I don't know how this is going to go, and like
Or
during the week they're going to be on ESPN. I don't know.
Do you think they probably going to show more local games?
It'll probably end up being like that.
Yeah. That's. I didn't even think about that. That makes sense.
Because I was about to say, I remember watching Jordan too, but shit, I had to watch him on what it was WGN where I was
at.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the Chicago channel.
Yeah, the Chicago channel. Yeah, that's how I used to watch the Bulls, man. So
WGN.
Yeah.
Everybody used to watch
in South Carolina.
Because the Chicago channel was a national local channel. So
But even when we was in Ohio though, we seen South Carolina games. Like I remember seeing Ryan Brewer and all those boys play. On NBC.
Okay.
As far as football go. But yeah, I mean, I guess because I don't know, man. I mean, Chicago was just a national powerhouse, bro. You had to show them on TV. You know what I'm saying? So I think if they get some good highlight games, like say even some of these rematches, like say you got a NBC get the first week of the season get Boston versus Indiana, game one or something. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that would help them out tremendously. But again, a lot of folks will still tune in because that's a wider range. Everybody don't have cable or internet and stuff like that. So I think it will be a good one.
Especially nowadays when people are cutting back on your cables, your streaming services,
everything.
Yes, and you're going to be on regular national TV that everybody can watch. All you need is some rabbit ears, if you got those, and you get to watch the NBA. And I think it's another way to help grow the game because you have more opportunities to have nationally televised games that everybody has access to. I think it's a great thing. I think it's a great thing that they're doing that. I think it's going to be awesome.
Oh yeah,
but cool. That's all I got for this week, y'all. I mean, unless y'all got something else, that's it. We're gonna wrap this.
I do got a question though. So if LeBron leaves LA, is he considered his about 6 years he been in Laker uniform? Is he considered? We ain't talking about what he did his whole 21 years, but his time with a purple and gold uniform.
Mhm.
Is he considered one of the top 5 Lakers of all time?
No,
No.
No,
Chris, you say no too?
no, no. Because
What you say,
No.
Blair?
hold on.
No.
wait a minute,
Shaq, Kareem, Magic,
Kobe,
Kobe.
Jerry West.
Jerry West,
Yeah,
Will,
Could have said
all of them.
all
If
that,
we
bro.
just,
Like,
and
if
Will
we
wasn't
just
there that long. But
James
I think he
Worthy.
right there. Like,
Worthy, like anybody
Yeah,
that was
Worthy.
there
Yeah, if
for a
you
long
just
period of time.
now, if you talking about just like one of the best Lakers of all time, maybe I ain't saying top 5 best Laker, but you know,
yeah,
just
no,
one
One of the best,
Lakers.
yeah. I'm talking about
yeah,
top
one of the best.
5,
Yeah,
Oh
like
nah,
when
he
he
not.
retires,
Nah,
should they put a
nah,
statue of that man outside?
no.
no,
He need a
no.
statue outside Miami and Cleveland.
Yeah, he don't need a
I
statue
totally
outside
100%
LA.
with Cleveland. I
And
think that's D Wade's building.
They both going. D Wade can have the biggest statue. LeBron need a statue
So
out
you
that
gonna
bitch.
give him the Allen Iverson statue,
yeah,
man?
he gonna need an Allen Iverson.
It's gonna be
First of
bigger
all,
than
we didn't talk about that, but that was disrespectful. Why they
That
give
was
that man
very
that
disrespectful,
small ass
man.
statue?
Super small, bro.
no. All of the statues in Philly are like that. All of them.
Man, he's an icon. He's a titan. He's like King
I
Kong in
feel
that
you.
Every
motherfucker.
one of them
I feel
except
you.
for Rocky
I'm
Balboa.
about to say that Rocky statue was huge when
That
we
was
went,
he
son.
ain't a
Yeah,
big
I remember
dude.
seeing
He
that
right.
Rocky
literally
joint.
regular
The
size.
The NBA ain't pitching on Rocky Balboa statue, man.
Oh, come on, man. They could have gave him a
Man,
life-size
hey, I
statue.
could have
Come
sold one of them
on.
chains for that
Hey,
statue.
AI. So you saying, and don't get me wrong, AI is an icon. So you gonna give AI one? You ain't gonna give Dr. J a big statue?
We're gonna redo his too.
Yeah, they need to redo his too,
He
then.
brought the ship.
And Moses. Because Moses
You
need
know
one
what I'm
out there, too.
saying? So come on, man. All them niggas statue is the same. You can get that bitch in a 6 to 8
Man, we
inch
can steal that
collectible figure.
motherfucker. How small that is, man.
They got a nigga AI trophy outside.
Hey, I cross
Hey,
that motherfucker over right into a van.
Barkley statue the same size.
I can fit
Man,
that shit in my
shit
book
crazy.
bag. Like, what the fuck was this? We didn't talk
Yeah.
about that, but I was like, damn, dog, for real? That's all?
They
Oh,
Why is
do,
it
man.
so
they do
small?
statues, son. They should have
Because
sold all the
bro,
other statues and show his next to it, so people would be like, "Oh, they just
Yeah,
did
because
it."
I never seen everybody else's. I ain't gonna
Yeah, I've
lie.
never paid
So
no attention to that.
yeah,
I never knew.
they had talked about it after that junk happened, after everybody was saying all the stuff about, oh yeah, he got this little ass statue. But I'm like, dude,
They
everybody
did
gonna
like
see
mini
that
me his
statue.
statue, bro. It was crazy. Like it was
Like
crazy
he a little nigga,
out
bro.
there.
What you
Like,
expect?
damn, why they honey y'all shrunk the kid? My motherfucking digging statue. Like, what's up with that, bruh? Like,
Oh,
come
okay.
on, bruh.
They like
Before
check
we
out the life size statue of Allen Iverson,
before
and it's like this
before
baby statue. You like, oh, that's cold. That
before
is
we
just
get off, I'm gonna ask y'all just one little question. It's just off the what you think, real fast. What's the better move, the AI crossover or the Tim Hardaway?
I think we had talked about this before.
I think we did. And
I don't remember.
Oh man, that's tough, dog.
that's a hard question. We might need to save that answer for the next episode because I have no idea.
That's tough. I can't
I gotta
answer
think
that.
on that, dog. That ain't something I can answer quick.
Is it the bring it all the way out? We done had to legalize the carry, or is it the hint real quick on your ass? Gone.
Bruh.
That's tough, man.
I don't
I don't know,
know.
man. I'll get you next week, bro. I gotta think about
Yeah,
it.
Yeah. Let's
I gotta think about
let's come
that one,
back to
man.
that one. Let's put that on.
We gotta come back to that one. I'm gonna keep it in there because I ain't editing this motherfucker down. So Continue to like, share, subscribe, y'all. We
Man, that's a
appreciate
tough
This
y'all.
dude is
Let us
hilarious.
know the Iverson or the Hardaway. Let us
The
know.
Iverson and the Hardaway. Y'all you know what? Y'all vote down low. Down in the comments, let us know who got the better crossover, Iverson or Tim Hardaway.
You know, people gonna say Allen Iverson because they know him, but man, Timmy, man.
Hey man, that crossover was stupid. So
Hey, you
we
know somebody
appreciate
else who you could have mentioned? Mike Bibby, too, though. It's
Yeah,
a lot
Mike
of motherfuckers had a nice crossover, but yeah.
They ain't on that level. Continue to like, share, subscribe, y'all. We'll holler at y'all next week. Till then, deuce.
Peace.
Peace.
Take care of your mama and them.